Hi, this is Boris. Welcome to Patch Tuesday. A little while ago, we got a question on our socials from someone who wanted to hear and see a brass patch made on the Joranalogue system. So that's exactly what I've done today. A little brass patch. Let me explain. In essence, it's a really simple subtractive patch where we take the CV and the gate from the keyboard. CV goes to generate 3 for the pitch, and then the gate goes to contour, which then opens the VCA of mix 3. Subtractive patch, which means there's a filter involved. We take the full output from generate 3, run it through the filter, take the 2-pole low pass out, run that into mix 3, and then to the output. You can change the harmonics on generate 3 to more or less match those of a brass sound. Adjust them a little bit to your liking. So that it sounds like a trumpet on this half of the keyboard and more like a tuba on this side of the keyboard. So that's the basic subtractive thing. How do we now make this sound more brassy? That's by adding a bit of irregularities, and that's where Orbit 3 comes into the patch. Typical for brass sounds is that the envelopes are a bit irregular, that the sound is a bit irregular. So we're using Orbit 3 here to mimic the mouth and the lip irregularities in the instrument, and also to generate the effect of spit and the mouth and the lips in the tubes. So let me explain a bit further. Orbit 3 is modulating the linear FM of filter 8. Best way is to demonstrate this. Without modulation from Orbit 3, we get this sound. I'm gonna add in a bit of modulation now. It's very subtle, but it does the trick. In the higher pitched sounds, it's very clean like this. Sounds more like a trumpet right there. And by modulating filter 8, we also get a bit more air running through the instrument. So we're modulating the filter with this contour. Add in the linear FM. If we open up contour, you can hear the sound build up and the air run through the tubes of the instrument. More direct, more air. This envelope can also do, and is doing at the moment, with a bit of irregularity. So we're modulating with the same orbit the attack of contour 1, which is modulating filter 8. So each attack is a little bit different, and that's also helping to make this brass sound a bit more realistic. It's very subtle. But it's there. and all these little things help to make it sound a bit more realistic. Then another thing I've done is made use of keyboard tracking on a couple of modules. First of all, filter 8. Filter 8 is tracking the keyboard so that the tuba sound is nice and low, or has less harmonics than the trumpet sound. Filter opens more on the right side of the keyboard, less on the left side of the keyboard. We're also modulating the frequency of orbit 3 on the keyboard. Orbit 3 will be slower the lower we play, and faster the higher we play, helping to mimic the fact that the lips are moving quicker and all the frequencies and all the irregularities are quicker when the sound is pitched higher and slower when the sound is pitched lower. Additionally, to make it a bit more playable, we are using the aftertouch of the keyboard to open the filter a bit more, and we're using a bit of LFO on the pitch of Generate 3 to have a bit of vibrato. Tuba sound. I'm not a keyboard nor a trumpet player, but I think this is close to a brass sound or a realistic brass sound. You can of course start tweaking these knobs until you're happy with it. There's lots of things you can tweak. By tweaking the frequency of orbit 3 and the harmonics on Generate 3, the effect of the filter envelope and the filter cutoff itself, you can really start shaping your sound until it is to your liking. It just fits in the mix you want, or it gives you the atmosphere or the mood of the instrument you would like to capture. So the irregularities I'm introducing on the filter envelope, you can hear a bit better when you, of course, open it up more. So I might be overdoing it a little bit here, but it gives you an idea. One more thing I'm doing here that's also related to the keyboard tracking of the patch is because a lower pitched or a bigger, let's say, brass instrument is gonna have a bit of a longer ring than, let's say, a small trumpet. So the contour that's opening the VCA, the rate of the decay is also tracked over the keyboard. So we've got a longer decay. I'll open up the filter a bit more so you hear it better. Ever so slightly longer the decay here than here. Short, a bit longer, to mimic the size of the instrument as well. So maybe a little recap. Brass patch, simple subtractive patch, CV and gate, generate 3 through filter 8, 2-pole low pass filter, or another filter response to your liking, but I felt like low pass filter 2 or a 2-pole low pass filter was okay, through a VCA to the output. Then how do we make it sound more brassy? That's by adding in irregularities, which we do using 1-orbit-3. We modulate the length of the filter attack to have a bit of variation in the mouth and in the air that's going into the instrument. We also added in some direct modulation of the filter or linear FM on the filter to give the impression of some mouth and some lips on the instrument, and to add some of these effects you get from all of this inside the tubes of the instrument. So irregularities in the envelopes are key here, and then using keyboard tracking to make the filter track the keyboard so that the lower sounds have less harmonics, the higher sounds have more harmonics. Also have the decay of the VCA track the keyboard so that the bigger instruments have a bit of a longer ring than the smaller instruments, and then have some modulation over the pitch of the instrument and aftertouch, so you can open up the sound by pressing the keyboard a bit harder. And then it's a matter of tweaking the parameters to your liking until you get the desired effect. Alright, I think this covers the more or less realistic sounding brass patch on the Joranalogue system. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.